We spend a lot of time and money trying to optimize ourselves. Between the rigid morning routines, the productivity hacks, and the endless pursuit of growth, the modern quest to become our best selves often just leaves us utterly exhausted. Much of this exhaustion comes from how we've been taught to view human psychology. Take Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It presents life as a steep climb where you have to secure food, safety, and esteem first. Only then, at the very top of this pyramid, do you unlock self-actualization, a distant peak you reach after a lifetime of grinding. But there's a historical irony here. Abraham Maslow developed his famous theory after spending 6 weeks in 1938 studying the Blackfoot tribe. Maslow was struck by the community's high self-esteem and cooperation, but he missed the core of their philosophy. To the Blackfoot, self-actualization is not a destination you earn. It is an inherent birthright, present from day one. This highlights two opposing ways to view human fulfillment. The modern Western model treats you like an empty vessel that needs to be filled with achievements. The Blackfoot model treats you as a complete entity that simply needs to be uncovered. Shifting our baseline assumption from scarcity to inherent wholeness alters the entire mechanism of finding peace. You stop trying to climb toward a better version of yourself and start removing the things that obscure the complete person you already are. This concept of uncovering peace is the foundation of ancient Indian philosophies like Advaita Vedanta. Thousands of years ago, texts like the Yoga Vasista mapped out how to strip away the noise, providing a detailed psychological map of the human mind. They outline a framework called the Sapta Jnana Bhumikas, the 7 stages of knowledge. It details the internal evolution from worldly distraction to absolute mental silence. Utilizing a map of consciousness like this is highly practical. It gives you an actionable tool for navigating daily life, which is far more useful than striving for an abstract pinnacle of needs. The journey begins with stage 1, called Subheka. This is the initial spark, that everyday realization you have when you notice that material success and constant busyness are failing to cure your burnout. That realization pushes you into stage 2, Vicharana, or active inquiry. Here, you stop drifting on autopilot and start actively investigating your own habits and assumptions. It requires looking at how you spend your time and taking deliberate, self-directed action to align your daily choices with your actual personal values. Over time, this alignment leads to stage 3, Tani Manasa, which translates to the thinning mind. Through practices like mindfulness, the constant noise of the ego and the exhausting desire to compare yourself to others begins to erode. Notice how these first 3 stages completely reframe the concept of personal growth. Progress here is entirely about shedding societal expectations and mental clutter rather than acquiring new personality traits. Once the mind thins out, you enter stage 4, Sattvapati. This is where those aligned actions trigger a psychological state of deep flow. In this flow state, the friction disappears. Mundane chores like working, cooking, or commuting suddenly bring an effortless sense of inner peace. This deepens in stage 5, Asamsakti, through the practice of karma yoga. You start doing tasks entirely for their own sake, completely detached from the final outcome or the praise of other people. Finally, stages 6 and 7, Padartha Bhavana and Turyaga, represent the ultimate state of unity and transcendence. Here, the illusion of separation dissolves entirely into a state of continuous awareness. What this framework shows is that ultimate self-actualization isn't about escaping a chaotic environment. It is about developing a psychological state that allows you to operate peacefully right in the middle of it. The term for this in Indian philosophy is Jivan Mukta, meaning liberation while living. It proves that you do not need to retreat to a secluded monastery or hide in a cave to reach the final stages of self-actualization. In fact, philosophical frameworks like Kashmir Shaivism were specifically built for householders, everyday people who are balancing jobs, families, and all the usual modern stresses. Vedanta illustrates this with the classic metaphor of the lotus leaf. The leaf rests fully immersed in the water, yet the water simply rolls off its surface without leaving a mark. You can live fully immersed in the world. By making purposeful, authentic micro-decisions, you transform your ordinary, mundane responsibilities into extraordinary mechanisms for spiritual transcendence. Fulfillment is never a distant peak you must exhaust yourself trying to climb. It is the natural, peaceful ground you uncover by fully engaging with your reality every single day.